We can watch a Pakistan video real quick, because I'm gonna eat. So they attacked each other last night, huh? Shut up, Dave, you eating.
Pakistan-administered Kashmir.
World War III's coming, lads. Get ready.
Those the sounds of explosions.
Gotta get to
India says it's
New Zealand. China has also there.
Adding that none of them are Pakistani military facilities. A Pakistani military spokesperson says the country will respond to those attacks, adding that at least 3 people have been killed in the Indian strikes. This comes after gunmen killed 26 people in Indian-administered Kashmir last month. India blamed Pakistan for those attacks.
And this brings me back, my opinion, I'm sorry. The world is so crazy right now. God bless, I'm ready for World War III, says the Ukrainian soldier. What? I want to make a point. The world is so crazy lately, and the leader of the most important democratic power, USA, is such a lunatic. The world is on such a crazy point of history, and the USA is represented by Trump. That is the biggest fucking tragedy.
Nick Robertson is live now in Islamabad, and it's worth reminding our viewers that these are 2 nuclear-armed nations that have fired at each other before. Tell us what the situation is now and concerns about escalation now.
There's a real concern about
World War III before GTA 6.
Pakistan vowed that if India attacked, that they would respond. That was part of their military doctrine. They believe, and I've been speaking over the past few days with very senior security officials.
I'm gonna make a comment. And I'm scared. Isn't it weird that, look, you and me, we're probably gonna live 50, 60, 70 more years, right? You and me, we're gonna live about 60 more years. What do you think is the chance of you and me experiencing in our lifetime a drop of a nuke? Because I think the chance is not that fucking mega low anymore. And that is creepy as fuck. That is creepy as fuck. That one day you gotta open the news and it's like, yeah, Pakistan nuked India. Fuck. I would always hope that when they do that, the whole world is like, okay, we gotta fucking fix this. Stop this shit, man. What the hell? But damn. You know, I was just watching a TV show. A brand new TV show I would urge you to watch called Paradise. Very, very good TV show. Very, very fun. You guys should watch that. In that TV show, there is a nuclear war. But the president of the United States, he says, haha, I have an ace up my sleeve. And what he says is, he has a failsafe. He can A, activate all the American nukes, or B, he can activate, and this is kind of interesting, it would be really fun. He can B, activate EMPs with all these satellites and deactivate all the nukes in the air, like a failsafe. And you might think that the human race, maybe the CIA or something, has a failsafe, that when the nukes are flying, they can like EMP them or some shit. They must have thought of something in the Cold War and shit, right?
Here, and they believe that this incident inside Indian-controlled Kashmir, where 26
fucking nukes, that's a shit, man. Chad.
Pakistan denied. They believe that this had now come, the relations with India had now come to a moment, a defining moment, where Pakistan needs to take a definitive stand, because in
Pakistan once said they would nuke the entire world if their existence is threatened. Yeah, but did they A, say that, and B, come on.
India has threatened to cut off water supplies coming down 3 major rivers. Vital, existential security officials describe the water from those rivers. So this is the sort of context to why that this is at a moment of extreme potential escalation. Pakistani security officials are saying that they are right now, their air force right now is in
the water wars are coming. TommyKay told you 3 years ago, buddy. The water wars are starting, man. And this is why I think I will see a nuke in the next 60 years. Here's what I believe in, right? I'm just yapping. I might be wrong. As global warming is fucking us over more and more, a lot of places on Earth, like India and Pakistan, will get drier and hotter and more contaminated and more trashy. And at some point, the human race will understand that water is the #1 resource on Earth. Not gold, not oil. And once someone is pushed into a corner, they're ready to fucking go to war, right? Like, for example, Sudan with Ethiopia, because Ethiopia controls the Nile source and stuff like that. And when you tell someone you ain't getting no water, that's when they're ready to go all fucking out.
Response for this strike.
It's very interesting in the TV show Paradise. I'm going to spoil right now. So the world is ending in Paradise. There's like a massive super volcano exploding. And the world is about to end. And it's about people going to the bunker. And right before they go into the bunker, the president gets news that Russia is massively nuking China. And you might think, why? The world is ending anyway. And it's very interesting. What they say is, the superpowers of the world are preparing for what comes after. Like, there's going to be fallout. Most of the human race will die. But after that, there's rebuilding. And they're nuking China to prepare for the rebuilding later. And I felt like that makes sense. They will probably do that. They will probably do that.
Previously, when I've spoken with Pakistani officials over the past few days, they've said that if India's retaliatory strike, which they thought was coming, they said if it just came in Pakistan-administered Kashmir, that would be something that would be more easily tolerable than...
Do you know any thematic water depths? The best water depths is Pictet water, P-I-C-T-E-T, and the golden standard of water is iShares global water.
Pakistan proper, if you will. At least 2 of the strikes we understand this evening, and we're getting these early details, are in Pakistan proper. This tells me, from what the officials have been speaking about, that this will demand from the Pakistani side a much...
Dude, I'm telling you, I'm gonna yap. I'm yapping. You put a Palestinian, an Israeli, a Ukrainian, maybe a Russian, a Pakistani, and an Indian in a room. Basic people, right? No leaders. They're just gonna be fucking mostly normal people. Maybe they have propaganda in their head, like the Russian will probably hate Ukrainian because of propaganda. But one thing I learned is that normal folks, 99% of the earth, we just want to hang. We just want to live, work, love our families. We don't want to fucking kill each other. It's always the fucking leadership. Look at the genocide in Gaza, right? It's the fucking crazy Netanyahu leadership, man. A lot of Israelis don't want this. A lot of Palestinians probably don't want Hamas to behead all these people, man. Most of us just want to hang. And it's always the leaderships that make us fucking kill each other, which is, once again, technocracy, man. I'm fucking against leadership like this.
higher level of response.
Not with Nazi Russians. I know you will not want to hear this, Markic, but out of 200 million Russians, there's probably some that are against the war, against Putin, and don't have anything against you.
Speaks to the potential for escalation. How does India respond to this? One of those strikes in Murad Kay inside Pakistan proper was literally just about 20 miles from the border with India. So for their fighter jets, if that's what it was, to come over and strike, that was a relatively easy operation. However, these strikes...
Trump said he's the president of peace, but world tension is higher than ever. And he's also the president of economy, right, guys?
...have been on the audible, if you will, outskirts of Islamabad. Our cameraman here with me, Javid, his house is about an hour from where we are in the...
My step-granddad is Indian and super racist to Pakistanis. I understand that. But in its core, why do people have hate for other races, right? Because of the propaganda, because of culture bullshit, because of dumbass religion. We're all just humans. Most of us are normal people that don't fucking rape and kill. We're just normal. Whatever your fucking skin is. But the fucking culture and the system is putting the stuff in our heads, man, that we have to, oh, my neighbor is evil. Gotta kill that guy. And you've never come home because you're dead, but the leaders that eat drinking wine, eating nice little meat, don't give a shit.
His house shook. There were 2 loud explosions, he said, and his house shook from those explosions. So that gives you an idea how close some of the strikes have been to Islamabad, perhaps about 50, 60, 70 kilometers away.
Wow.
The other explosions I was describing that have happened elsewhere in Pakistan have also been near the major city of Lahore, the sort of very outer reaches of that. So again, these are very strong signals, if you will, that the Indian military is sending to the Pakistani government. Again, it speaks to the potential for escalation. We have to wait and see what Pakistan's response is, what it's been. They describe it as crushing. We don't have details yet, and therefore what India may do after that. Jim?
Nick, I wonder, given that India's strikes, and this is...
I mean, Pakistan is not just going to do nothing now, huh?
Inside Pakistan-controlled Kashmir and inside Pakistan proper, is it reasonable to expect that crushing blow as...
Nationality is personality. I don't think Earth will ever be one. I disagree, and I want to disagree. The world has already got so much better. 80 years ago to the day, Germans, Brits, French, we all killed each other. Now we're fucking hanging, have fucking open borders. You shouldn't be so negative, man. Things are possible. Europe is very, very united right now. We're not killing each other anymore, as we did for thousands of years. It's a beautiful thing.
Pakistani officials are describing it might do the same in kind. That is, strike inside Indian-administered Kashmir, but also...
I believe in some centuries we could have like a European identity. I'm not German, I'm not British, I'm a fucking European. But Tommy, the culture, you can still have your culture. You can still eat fish and chips and have ugly teeth. But we can still be fucking one people.
Inside India itself.
I think there's a genuine potential for that. And the military here have released pictures of some of the victims of the overnight attack from India, and
nothing is crumbling. Hungary will never leave. It's bullshit. Hungary is one of the biggest bidders of the money flow.
Released show women and children blooded and inside a hospital.
And it's always the civilians. Pakistan and India want to fuck each other, and who's the first one to get wrecked? In every war, it's always the fucking civilians getting fucking wrecked first.
So again, the fact that women and children have been injured beyond military-age males is going to, if you will, ratchet up the potential for response. Now,
Romania's planning to leave. Listen to me, and I hope I'm right. When I was in law school, I actually had to study the EU, like deeply look at it. What really is the EU? I think a lot of people don't know what the EU really does in this. I guarantee you that in Romania and Orban ain't fucking leaving jack shit. Trust me. They are massive benefactors of the upbuilding funds. They are massive benefactors, especially Hungary, of the free movement. A lot of Hungarian workers don't work in Hungary. They need the free movement rights. They will utterly fuck themselves in the ass.
Pakistan's military is describing
never gonna happen. Never gonna happen.
We've seen so far as civilian casualties. It's unclear.
And if it happens, you will see. You'll see what happens.
At military targets, or if they would strike back beyond that.
Benefactors, not true. In the EU, there's a thing. Many people don't know this. When a country applies for EU membership, it takes a long, long time. As you get the status of applying for membership, you are now open to receive EU funding to build your country up. Turkey, for example, loves that. Turkey is a big fan of that. And Hungary and the Balkan. You get money from EU taxpayers to build up your infrastructure, etc., etc. Obviously, Orban gives it to his fucking cousin to build a little business and fucking train tracks, man. Turkey has that status, yes. I think they still have. Pretty sure. I mean, this is not money you have to pay back.
If they strike back at military targets, there's a potential that...
Especially for poor countries, leaving the EU is terribly stupid.
It doesn't get out of hand. But this is... The tensions have been hugely high. The Pakistani security officials believe this is an existential moment. The fact that the water to the country that powers a lot of the electricity generation here, that's absolutely vital, it's vital for agriculture. They feel that as an existential issue. And
that's the problem. That's where I think it's scary. This war isn't about some dumb shit. It's about water. It's about helping the farmers, right? It's about very important shit. And that makes this war a bit scary. This is pretty serious. They're fighting actually over important stuff.
Was going to be accordingly strong from that perspective. It's very unclear to me where it will go from here, but the language has been very, very clear. If you track it, and I've been coming here for about, well, over 25 years. I first came here when Pakistan and India were fighting another one of their major skirmishes, which killed thousands of troops high in the Himalaya mountains inside of Kashmir, the Kargil.
Well, Chad, we're getting our next Russia-Ukraine, our next Palestine-India, Palestine-Israel.
In Pakistan.
Polish people, you better watch out. You better watch out.
Since then. This is an army, remember, that's been fighting an insurgency on their western border that has actually become increasingly ferocious as the security situation in Afghanistan has deteriorated and Islamist militants have used Afghanistan as a base and attacked into Pakistan with ferocity, that the army here over the past couple of decades has become tougher and stronger militarily.
Spade, what do you mean?
In their outlook, and one can even say in their leadership. So there is a very strong and toughened military from the Pakistan's perspective, but also from the way their
Who do you support in this? Who do you want to support? What kind of question is that? I'm pro-Pakistan, I'm pro-India, I'm support the human race. Don't fucking kill each other. Find a solution like a bunch of fucking adults. You shouldn't have a fucking side here.
Evaluates the battle space in relation with neighbors. It's quite...
I just hope both teams have fun.
Leadership right now.
And Nick, drawing on your experience of previous...
It's funny you don't think that about Ukraine. How is that funny? It's a totally... Once again, Cat Doodle, you're the biggest retard of all times. It's such a different fucking thing. This is a war where you don't really have a villain. Both of them are fighting over that water thing. Both of their culture. Whereas... Do I have to explain the invasion of Ukraine to you right now? I'm not going to go there. If we have to go back to that, then I think we lost as a human race. Canned Noodle, you fucking retard. Thank you, Lil Joes. Thank you, man.
Points, intentions.
Come on, dude.
I remember being in India and Pakistan some 20 years ago in the 2000s when there was concern that there might be an escalation even to a nuclear exchange. Granted, just concern, and of course that didn't come to be. But place this current standoff.
They should give Kashmir to Trump.
Historical context.
Let Trump build hotels, water slides. One water slide goes to India, one to Pakistan.
To give it a sort of try to give it a simple context here. You have a tougher and, if you will, more forward-leaning military. You have
Canned Noodle, stop. I'm not understanding fun with that shit.
Pakistani civilians.
Come on, Maddie. Come on.
A big influence in the running of the country. So there's that perspective. It's a tougher, more forward-leaning.
All these conflicts are part of a World War II aftermath. I think even without World War II and the UK doing everything perfectly, there will still be war. We're just a warrior race. Sometimes I have this idea that aliens know that we exist. Like, there's an alien watching us, but these aliens, they never had war. They were always, like, very united. They don't know what war is. And they look at us, oh, I found a new race on Earth. And they look at us and they just go, holy fucking shit. Let's never ever let them know we exist. Holy fuck, build a fucking wall around Earth. These guys are fucking insane. Imagine, right? You're like a peaceful race. You never had to go to war. You don't know what war is. And then you look at us. We're fucking orcs, Alter. We're fucking monsters.
This tension has been growing, as you say. It's unresolved for 75 years since the dispute over Kashmir left unresolved in 1947.
I remember, this is edgy. When I was a kid, I would always watch these movies how aliens are invading us, like Independence Day, and I always sat in the chair as a 12-year-old. But Daddy, what if we are the ones invading the other planet one day? Huh? Bam, huh? Intelligent kid.
The British Empire basically divided India into two countries, Pakistan and India. Pakistan, of course, Muslim majority, India, Hindu majority. They fought three major wars in the intervening period. 71 was one of the biggest, and various skirmishes as recently as 2019 and more subsequently. But in the outlook of where the situation
dude, if the human race are out of resources and we know there's a peaceful alien race somewhere, we will fucking kill them, dude. We will destroy them. Let's be real.
Pakistan's agriculture, therefore economy, therefore more than 200 million population, and power generation, which is vital, particularly in the summer.
At least Germany's doing well. Germany is a mess. I could go into Germany right now. Who the fuck our new ministers are? These guys are insane, man. The ministry we now have is full of fucking corrupt motherfuckers. Don't even get me started. Don't even. We are the combine.
These are existential issues for Pakistan at the moment, and that's, I think,
the president of the Bundestag is now the Nestle woman. Yes.
And has been expressed to me by very senior security officials here that the water issue is key. And I think, just to give a little bit of additional background on the water, this is something that was being litigated in courts in recent months, and the Pakistani perception is that India had been looking for a legal way to abrogate the terms of that Indus Water Treaty signed in 1960.
What I always wonder is, I'm not educated about this, you guys probably know, how is there no world police? You have a meeting in like the UN and you say, hey, here's the thing. The next side to do a major attack on the other will be declared a villain state, and Europe and USA are gonna help the other side. You put the vetoes, yeah. That's why I'm saying why. Yeah. I mean, I know, but I'm saying fictionally. Why don't we have that? Right? Like, hey, Pakistan, if you throw a nuke, or India, we're gonna annihilate you. We're gonna put you out of existence, buddy. But I know the UN is a joke. You don't have to tell me. I'm just saying fictionally. They got nukes, bro. Then you nuke them faster.
To immediately jump to that position. So this is something that Pakistan has seen coming, and therefore they believe that this is.
But yeah, in the UN, one veto is enough, I think, right? The UN is like the dumbest thing ever, man.
Brewing for some time. Nick Robertson, thanks so much.
Tough man policy, that's totally gonna work. Well, it will fucking work with Putin and Hitler. Look what happens when you let crazy people do what they want. Anyway.
She slipped through my fingers like sand. Heard that she had a man. Now I'm just sitting here sad. Oh well, ship sail. She slipped through my fingers like sand.